Welcome to the San Bernardino County Community Development Block Grant Public Service Application Tutorial for Program Year 2018-2019. Community Development and Housing Department has implemented a new online application portal which can be accessed at sbc.hdsoftware.net. CDH strongly recommends that each organization create a single user account and designate one person to review and submit applications on behalf of the entire organization. This will streamline the evaluation process. To create a new user account, click the link and enter your information. You will receive an email verifying your registration, and that will allow you to log in. Once you have logged into the system, you will be directed to the application portal's homepage. To start a new public service application, click the arrow next to Public Service Application 2018 and click the button for New Application. Give the application a name and click the Save button. This will automatically direct you to the application's exhibit list. There is no action required on this page. You can click Next to continue. In this application portal, there are several important features that you need to note. There is a Save button, which will allow you to save your progress. There are two clear buttons, a blue clear button, which will allow you to clear any information that you had entered onto the page, and a green clear button, which will clear the entire application. Pressing either clear button will bring up a dialog box asking you if you're sure that you would like to clear it. There is also a back button, which is different than the previous and next buttons, which take you back and forth between exhibits. The back button will take you all the way back out to the home page. If you exit out of an application and want to go back into it later, pick whichever one you want and go to the dots under Actions. Come back up to Edit. There are several other things you can do from this menu. View allows you to view a PDF version of your application as it will be submitted. You can always change the name of your application until you submit it. You can look at the history of your submission and whether or not it has been reviewed. You can add or view attachments. You can submit the application. The important thing to note here is we have added this copy function, which will allow you to copy the entire application. This is important this year as CDH is no longer accepting multi-jurisdictional applications. However, if you need to submit more than one application of a very similar type, you can copy one and then just adjust the exhibits for that specific one. For now, we're going to edit this application for submission. Again, it'll take us back to the exhibit list. Under organization information, this is where you will enter the contact person for your agency, the authorized person for signatures, the contact person, and the important information for your organization. Click Next. Next, we're going to ask you project information. This is going to be a senior meal delivery program, for example. Put in all of the information as to where it will be taking place, what district you're in. Important to note, if this is a public service, HUD requires that it be either a new public service to that area or it be an expansion of an existing service. So we are going to call this an expansion of an existing service. In the dialog box down here, you will explain how it is expanded from the previous year. Either you are serving more people or you have created a new aspect, either nutrition counseling or door-to-door meal program, something that makes it different or expanded over the previous year. If it is a previous year program, please enter the contract number and then answer the questions below describing whether or not will provide opportunities to hire minorities or women, and then we'll talk about how it pertains to the county-wide vision. There are several options. It isn't required that you meet all of them. Most programs will only meet one or two. This one is going to provide for the health and social service needs of the county. So we'll click that one, and then you will explain how it meets that need in the box. Community needs and target population is where you will describe who you're serving. We are going to be serving seniors, and it will target low and moderate income persons, some handicapped persons, and definitely elderly people. Describe the target area. So for example, this one is going to target everyone who is in the city of Loma Linda. If your service area is different, if you are only focusing on a certain neighborhood or maybe several cities, this would be the place to describe that. Next, you'll answer some questions as to whether or not this project will directly help homeless people. This one will not, so we will go ahead and click here, and then you will describe how this project will handle who it's going to serve, how it's going to meet those needs, and how you can show that that is an actual need within this community. Exhibit 4 is where we're going to start talking about your project budget. On this form, this side of this column will be what you are requesting from San Bernardino County, and the right column will be what you are providing from other sources. So in Exhibit 4A, we're requesting this money from Loma Linda's CDBG budget. 16,000 matches the 16,000 here. So that means we have 41,000 left to make up from other places. So here we are, for example, getting a state nutrition grant and private donations, which are making up the remainder of the project budget. Performance and outcomes. This is where you will show how you are going to serve people and how you're going to count. So for example, we are going to serve 100 seniors, and they are going to get service once a month. So our duplicated client count will be 1,200. Answer the questions in the boxes below as to how you're going to count and keep track of all of these things. And then you're going to talk about how you are going to submit your reimbursement requests. So we had previously requested $16,000 in CDBG funds. So this is projecting that you're going to request $4,000 quarterly for this project. Exhibit 6, your agency capacity. This is where you're going to describe how your agency is able to meet the goals that you have set out. So you will describe your agency's history and experience, and you will answer the questions based on whether or not you have ever had any kind of findings or had problems meeting your financial obligations in the past. Exhibit 7, you will answer questions regarding homelessness assistance and whether or not you have ever received funds for homelessness assistance. Exhibit 8, this one is going to be different than the others because when the application is completed, you will need to print this page out and submit it with a wet signature to our office. HUD has still not completely authorized e-signatures. So when you fill this out, you will fill out your agency's information, print the name of whoever has signature authority for your organization and their title, and then leave the signature and title line blank. When the page is printed out, this is where that person will sign and date. This is where you will attach anything that needs any supplemental information for this application. The application checklist is provided here. This mostly applies to nonprofit agencies. There's a list of everything that you will need to bring and everything that we need to have on file. So if you need to attach these, you will go to the Add New File, wherever you have them in your computer. So there are for all of your documents that relate to your nonprofit status. Click it, hit Open, and it's here. You can click on this link to view it. Make sure that your pop-up blocker is off. If you need to remove it, click the dots under the action block and hit Delete. Once you get to here, go back to the main page, and we are ready to submit. We will come to the action box again and hit Submit. And we know that it will work because the counter on our submitted applications has gone up and it's showing as submitted here. The timestamp here is showing on Eastern Time. Please be aware that our application period does close on Friday, December 8th at 4 p.m. Pacific Time. If you want to create a new application based on this one, you can always copy it, rename it to, let's say we're doing a youth meal program. That application will save and it'll bring you back to the exhibit list. All of your information from the prior project is in here. And so now instead of senior services, we are doing youth services. And you can go through and just change the things that need to be changed, which should save you a lot of time in submitting your applications. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact us here at Community Development and Housing. We hope that this has been useful.